If it starts asking me to go any other crazy fucking place... Ah, oh, son of a bitch, I should have sold... We'll do it when we get to the next nearest location. I just keep forgetting to sell things. Probably because I'm so used to, like, destroying them in every other game that I play. Like, what, Elder Scrolls and Fallout, you break the items down. I guess I'm just not used to that anymore. I'm not used to the good old-fashioned sell the junk, you know what I mean?
Lifting off right away, or do you need a little bit of time?
No, we're good. I guess, if we're gonna be selling a bunch of junk, I can pull out all of the things that we will probably be selling. Alright, let's go to these fucking guys. Europa, then, huh? Can I just fast travel there?
Wow, look who finally had the guts to show up. Looks like Adler finally did something right for once. So, big shot. I hear Adler thinks you're good enough to join our crew.
Adler said that? I didn't know he cared.
You're funny. I hate funny. Remember that. So, before I put you to work, let's get everything out in the open. I don't know if Adler mentioned it, and for his sake, I hope he hasn't. But you aren't about to sign up with any average pirate crew. You're signing up with the Crimson Fleet. That's if you get through this little task I have planned for you. There's a medical supply ship called the Ragana, jumping into Enceladus's orbit. On board that ship, you'll find a traitor named Austin Rake. I want him dead.
Medical supply ship, huh? Why not something with some loot?
This job isn't about the loot. But I suppose every dog needs its scraps. Keep whatever worthless junk is on that ship. Just remember, the only thing that matters is that Rake dies.
Why not hunt him down yourself?
There's a lesson in this. I need you to learn what'll happen if you decide to turn your back on the fleet. Consider it your glimpse into a possible, unfortunate future. So you'd better pay close attention.
And what options do I have?
Kill Rake? That's your only option? If you want my advice, there's only one way to guarantee he dies. Turn the Ragana into space junk. Only way to be sure.
Okay, so you've given me my second option. Blow up his ship, but not him. Consider it done.
It's done when Rake stops breathing. Head back here when you're finished. And don't keep me waiting for long.
God, I want to shoot these people so bad.
I have to say, if she's the finest that the Crimson Fleet has to offer, joining them might be a terrible mistake.
How can you be certain that Rake is on the Ragana?
I've been tracking Rake for months. He's making it tough, not gonna lie. He changes his location and identity so often, it's costing me a small fortune just to keep tabs. But you know what? It's worth every damn cred. He's made me look like a fool in front of Delgado, and I'm gonna have his head on a pike.
Haas Delgado? Why do you want him dead?
Rake used to run with the fleet. Hell, I'm the one who vouched for him in the first place. Back then he had a different name and a different identity. He was a damn good earner, too. Brought in a ton of creds. Everything was fine until he wanted out. So he ran. And nobody, from the fleet.
Alright. Water. Chlorine. Europa's an ice planet, isn't it? Yeah, frozen. Yeah. Alright. Saturn. That's also not that bad. It's in the same system.
Pilot of the Regana. We are a simple transport ship heading to New Homestead. We do not want any trouble.
And boy, do I have some bad news for you. You have a crewman on board that I'm looking for.
All right. And what are your intentions with this crewman?
Huh. The fleet wants Austin Rake dead. I'd like to board your ship and talk about how to spare him.
Oh God. I do not know.
Keep in mind, we're not threatening to board you. We're asking. The distinction is rather important.
Well, normally I would say no, but frankly it will be safer for us that way. Alright, you can dock. We will talk then.
What were those options in the top left there? Whoa, wait, what? Hold the phone. Convince the Regana to kill him. Find a way to spare him. Wow, so we can... What? That's nuts. I guess it's technically not killing if I have someone else do it, right?
I am not sure what to make of you being here. If you wanted to kill us, you could have done that from your ship. If you wanted our cargo, we could have jettisoned it. I guess I should just stop talking and let you say your piece.
I don't know who's listening over comms. This is safer.
That is true. Which means you don't want somebody to know what you are really up to. Now, do you mind telling us what this is all about?
The fleet wants Rake dead, but I want to resolve this without violence. Whoa, kill him.
You really do not know which one of us is Rake, do you? And you do not seem to care either, which makes me think you really want to save him. Okay, I have idea. We can strike his name from Manifest, make it so he was never on board. Then, when we dock, we will leave him on this ship and deliver him to another port.
This is so weird. This is an ESO voice actor. I recognize the voice. It's the same guy that plays Roz. There have been a couple of recognizable crossovers between games, like Sidonia's desk receptionist for the governor. I'm pretty sure that was one of the High Elves in, like, Oblivion. Or Skyrim, I can't remember which one. As long as he agrees to turn himself into SysDef. I don't know if I can even accept an agreement. I think we just have to straight deliver him. Deliver him to SysDef. If the fleet finds out about this deal, we're both exposed.
That is fair. We do not want any part of the fleet. Is that all right with you, Austin?
Do I have a choice?
It does not appear you do. Well then, it is agreed. You go back to your ship and we will make sure Rake was never on ours. And in case any of your handlers get suspicious, here. We had an extra crate of supplies loaded, in case one got damaged. This should be proof you were not here to bargain.
Okay, that's it. Time to sell some of your junk.
This unpleasantness aside, the people of New Homestead will be grateful for these supplies.
So you're the fleet's new dog, huh? Be careful around the fleet. They talk about family, but it's just a bunch of crap. If you ever get to the key, you better sleep with one eye open and 2 pistols loaded. So now what? They're gonna put me in a SysDef prison? I'm not saying it's worse than death, but it's pretty damn close. So you're the fleet's new dog, huh?
I thought we were dead. I can't believe it.
Thank you for letting us go.
So now I guess we just go back? Water and argon. Deep freeze, yeah. To be expected. To Jupiter, huh? Okay. I mean, what? You can't even land on this. It's a fucking gas giant. Yeah, Jupiter's surveyed. Extreme magnetosphere. I do like how it does incorporate Jupiter's rings. Jupiter does have rings. They're just extremely subtle. So where are we going? What are we looking for? Europa. Why did we go to Saturn? What, was Europa just too far away? Oh no, Europa's one of the moons, isn't it?
Damn mercs just don't know how to take a hit. Hey, Rook, wanna help me with some target practice?
Son of a... Holy shit! They lit me the fuck up! What the fuck? Stop it! Exit scam. Holy shit.
No one messes with the Crimson Fleet. I'm gonna rip your ship to shreds! Had enough?
Is there any left?
Thanks for the help with the Cliptic. I had it under control, but it definitely went faster after you jumped into the fight. Now
I
tell
almost
me
fucking
about
died,
the
lady.
Give me some good news, then we can go celebrate.
Why were you attacked by Ecliptic?
You know what? I have no idea, and it's frustrating the hell out of me. I suppose I could have pissed off someone I screwed over in the past, but there's been so many, I've lost count.
And who exactly is Ecliptic?
Mercenaries. Guns for hire that shoot their own parents if they were paid enough. I'll tell you,
Nice.
we do a hell of a lot of dirty work in the Crimson Fleet. But we'd never sell away our souls like an Ecliptic merc does.
Yeah, of course not, right? Austin Rake is dead. The Regana survived.
No kidding. That'll make Delgado happy, seeing as our hands are clean. I would have preferred if you hadn't left witnesses behind, but at least you got the job done. Anyway, you wanted into the Crimson Fleet? Well, you're in. Yup, it's that simple. Hope this business with Rakes taught you something. Because I'm about to stick my neck out and vouch for you. If you screw up, and I wind up looking like an asshole, I'm gonna send someone after you. We clear?
It's about damn time.
Better stow that crap before you make me change my mind. Now that you know the deal, it's time to see what you signed up for. I'm gonna upload the coordinates for our headquarters in the Crick system. Spacers call it the key, the fleet calls it home. Head out there as soon as you can. Don't keep me waiting long.
Well, we're in. I hope you know what you're doing.
Well, I really don't.
You're carrying too many odds and ends. Time to let something go.
will say looting the bodies in space, it just feels bad. Like, I don't know the exact distance I need to be in order to actually pick that shit up, and then on top of that, it's like, I don't know, it's just messy is all.
Back, Agent. You're clear to dock at docking port 1.
Oh, I just can't wait to have this fucking over and done with. Now, I know this Crimson Fleet shit's probably gonna go on for a while, so we're not gonna do more of this than we need to right now. I'd really like to get back to the fucking lodge so we can carry on with this main quest.
Commander Ikonde wants to see you. Follow
Captain
me.
Howell, hello. I am satisfied to see that you survived your most recent sleep cycle.
We'll be able to see him next time we're on shore leave.
Yes?
At ease, soldier. We got the message from the Regana about Austin Rick. We had him dropped off at a separate port, off the books. Suffice to say, he's got a lot to answer for.
Any point in trying to get Rick to give up information about the fleet?
That's something we're looking into, but it doesn't seem like he knows much. He might be better served as bait. For now, we'll keep him in the brig. Perhaps you could pay him a visit there sometime? I'm sure he'd be pleased to see you.
Well, I'm glad he surrendered. I didn't want to kill anyone, innocent or otherwise.
That's a smart line to follow. Part of this role you're playing means having to make hard choices. Just remember not to lose yourself in the part.
I'll do my part to make certain that doesn't happen, Commander.
Oh, one more thing before we move on. For transparency's sake, you should know we were the ones that hired Ecliptic to attack Neva's ship. There was concern after what happened with the Regana that you might have trouble earning Neva's trust. Coming to her rescue ensured that would not be a problem.
Ecliptic doesn't have a problem attacking the fleet?
They are mercenaries for hire. If they are paid enough money, Ecliptic would attack the Vigilance. It wasn't terribly difficult to convince them to attack an isolated Crimson Fleet ship. Just expensive.
Well, that was a risky move.
But a gamble that hopefully paid off. On that note, how did things go with Neva? Were you able to join the fleet?
Does seem like I passed their initial test.
Then it worked. You're in. Sounds like everything is going as expected. Now it's time for the next phase of the mission.
Our intel on Saoirse was correct. After we received reports on your interaction with Adler Kemp, we picked up on your rendezvous with Neva Mora.
Our files indicate she's second in command, so getting on her good side will ensure you get into the Crimson Fleet.
What do you know about Neva?
The woman has a record that could stretch across Sol and back. She started young as one of Neon's street rats, and worked her way up to second in command. She's a force to be reckoned with, so don't underestimate her.
Well, everything's going according to plan.
Yes, you passed your first test and you're still alive. But before we get too confident, that either means she suspects nothing, or she intends to make an example of you later. Just remember, these are ruthless criminals, so don't let your guard down.
And their ruthlessness is only surpassed by their cunning. You should proceed with caution, regardless of how well you think you've ingratiated yourself.
So what's next for you on Neva's agenda?
Interesting, I can lie. I was told to meet with Neva at the key.
You were saying? You have where you'll meet Delgado, no doubt.
Delgado is the leader of the Crimson Fleet. I have a profile here with some information on his background. You'll want to know the individual cadences of every member of the fleet, but Delgado's most of all.
Agreed. The last thing we need is to infiltrate the fleet, only to be kicked out because we've underestimated one of their people.
I don't disagree, but it's important to know your enemy, and the best way to defeat them. In any case, now that you're with the fleet, you'll be operating independently. We will shadow you eventually, but we'll need to maintain our distance for now, especially while you're on the key. This will also give us time to bolster our defenses, should we need to engage with the fleet in the future.
Sir, on that note, shall we begin implementing the upgrade to our shields?
Immediately, Lieutenant. Notify the engineers and relay the information to the crew. I hope your entry into the fleet has overcome any doubts you may have had regarding your mission. It certainly increased my estimates on success. Keep up the good work. We'll expect further reports. Dismissed.
We don't have a full map of the fleet's roster. The members change too quickly. Things are progressing rather quickly. I'm sure the commander is pleased.
Why hold prisoners aboard the Vigilance when you could send them directly to prison?
2 reasons. First, Commander Akande's playing this operation extremely close to the vest. That means keeping prisoners under his own roof until this is resolved. Second, this is an undercover mission. For our safety and yours, we need to keep these prisoners out of the spotlight.
You mentioned the Vigilance is upgrading its shielding.
That's right. It's something we've requested a while ago, in preparation for a future conflict with the fleet. Once we finalize everything and run a few tests, we'll have the defenses needed for a jump to the Crick system when the time comes.
Why is it called the Crick system?
The system was originally called Alpha Ophiuchi, until a flag was planted there by Jasper Cricks, the founder of the Crimson Fleet. Since it was crucial that space travelers avoided that system, navigators marked it as Cricks on star maps as a warning. They could have just as easily labeled it Crimson Fleet, so I'm guessing the pirates themselves were responsible for spreading their leader's name. Over the years, people forgot the system's original designation and started calling it the Crick system. It's been that way ever since.
You have any detailed information about the fleet?
Sure. We have a database of profiles you can read, which should help you ingratiate yourself with the group. However, the profiles are a guide, not gospel. Use what you can, fill in the blanks, and play off that. I imagine when you're done, you'll be able to generate far more accurate profiles than what we have in our system. Good luck on the key.
We've been trying for years to get someone on the inside, and now we have it.
I'd like to return the medical supplies I got from the Regana.
Thank you. I wasn't sure what you were planning to do with them, or if you still needed them for your cover. We'll make sure they get transported to their original destination.
Oh shit, I hope that was the right call. How critical was the cargo being delivered to Homestead?
Extremely critical. It's unfortunate the Regana caught itself in the crossfire of Neva Mora's personal vendetta. Fortunately, your actions allowed the Regana to reach New Homestead with its cargo intact. And you even returned the extra supplies that were jettisoned. We'll make sure they find the right home.
Why are you so determined to destroy the Crimson Fleet?
They're a menace to civilized society. They attack supply ships, terrorize systems, and kill innocents, all under a banner of greed. But it's not just that. I strongly believe that the UC has a duty to destroy the Crimson Fleet. After all,
yeah, probably.
It was our fault that the Crimson Fleet was unleashed upon the settled systems in the first place.
What? How is that?
I'm not at liberty to explain the origin of the Crimson Fleet right now, but suffice to say, it's a massive embarrassment to the UC. All I can tell you is that the key and the planet that it's orbiting once belonged to the United Colonies, and they were lost to those pirates. The Crimson Fleet is a product of our negligence, and I aim to rectify that mistake.
Interesting. Why don't you just send a fleet to attack the key?
I've asked my superiors the same thing, but the Council is resistant to the notion that the Crimson Fleet is a serious threat. They perceive the pirates as simple opportunists and thieves, willing to betray each other the moment a better offer arrives. In actuality, I believe the fleet is a massive threat, one that's growing more and more organized as the years pass. Please, proceed with your report.
Oh my god, dude, let me talk.
Our directive is simple. We are tasked with the eradication of space piracy in the settled systems. As the chief source of pirate activity, the Crimson Fleet is our primary target. Best of luck. You are headed into a snake pit. Be sure to watch your step.
First mission in the books and no casualties. Good work.
One of the things I'm wondering about
made it
with
to
that
port with 0 casualties.
was, holy shit, I lost my train of thought. So the UC's responsible for... What the fuck was it?
But it's an important first step. Report back
Oh,
when you're
right,
done.
right. I remember now. So they they don't think the pirates are a real threat. And it's like, what do you mean, dude?
Maybe it was both. You sound a little too excited about this. That guy's a real cocky badass.
Like, pirates back in the day... There's too many fucking people talking. Jesus Christ. Pirates back in the day, you know, had literal bounties put on them. Like, merchant ships would be incentivized to sink them. Because it's you or them type of deal. And then on top of that, another interesting historical thing was the privateering that went on.
Oh, hello. I don't think we've met. Are you by chance new here?
Yeah, Commander Akande just recruited me to join SysDef.
Are Babri, you're that dangerous ex-convict everyone's been talking about. Well, don't worry. I'm not scared of you. My godmother was a member of the Strikers gang, and you're not even half as scary as her. My name is Javanta. I'm an ensign with the maintenance and robotics team. And just between you and me, I don't think you're dangerous. Do you?
I don't know what the rumors are, but I'm just me.
Aren't we all? I know people look at me funny when I say I'm from Neon, like it's some alien planet where only debauchery is allowed. But first of all, every planet is alien. Second of all, it is perfectly okay to be normal on Neon. No one's going to arrest you for staying home and watching TV. Anyway, it was very nice to meet you. If you want to talk some more, I will be here.
Is there anything you want to know about me? Interesting question. Why did you join SysDef?
It's a good question. It was what you'd call a minor moral crisis. I wasn't happy with my old job at Drone. I felt like my life was on an assembly line. Everything was about profit, and nothing had any real meaning. But then it occurred to me, if I'm so miserable, I could just leave. So one day I just did. SysDef is far from perfect, but our goal is noble. I can sleep soundly knowing my work will be for a cause that is just.
What are your duties here on the ship?
Oh, I'm part of the maintenance team that makes sure the Vigilance is operating smoothly. On the robotic side, I take care of the Model A's on the ship and make sure they're treated with respect and dignity. They are people, after all, just like us.
They don't get the same rights. Have you seen robots abused and mistreated?
Not here. With a drone, clients would come in and bring their robots for maintenance. And the condition these robots were in was appalling. Not to mention the way they were talked down to. Personally, I think the way you treat your robots says a lot about you.
Agreed. We should treat robots the same way we treat all living things.
See? I knew there was something I liked about you. Machines are very dear to me. Think of it this way. How can we expect a robot to fight by our side if we won't fight for their right to exist? So I always do my best to treat them as my equals.
You may have heard I've joined the Crimson Fleet.
Oh, yes! And we have a new prisoner in the brig. It's really sad the fleet couldn't just leave him be. And having left a toxic situation to come here, I can relate to wanting to escape. Although, no one's tried to have me killed, so...
Is there anything you want to know about me?
Oh, I have so many questions. That is not enough time to ask them all. But I will be respectful of your criminal history as it is in the past. We must look forward. Instead, I will ask you a very simple question. Are you a morning, afternoon, or night person?
Afternoon.
I do like taking afternoon naps, but only after I wake up bright and early.
You seem like the type.
Do I? I guess that's a compliment. Everything is just better in the morning. The food, the air, the coffee. But the thing I like best is the quiet. When I can look out into space and see the whole galaxy is asleep. When it's that quiet, the only noise you hear is from the Vigilance itself. In fact, we keep each other company when the world is too busy snoring in their beds. It makes it so the mornings are just for us.
Huh.
Don't be a stranger.
Interesting. Are there any other real people around?
SysDef Marines
recruit,
are the best of the best.
ensign.
Operations does good work.
Petty officer.
If any fleet are setting about those...
Where's the brig at? I do kind of want to talk to poor old what's-his-name. I wouldn't even know where to look. I don't even see a way to open that. Docking port.
Once we get rid of all the pirates, the galaxy will be a better place.
I mean, this is... I came from the brig, right?
I guess you think I have some sad story to tell? That I met some sick orphans on New Homestead and grew a conscience? Or maybe you're the cynical type, and you think I turned a new leaf because I wanted SysDef to go easy on me. The truth is a bit more complicated than that.
I don't even know who you are. Truth is always complicated. That's why no one wants to hear it. Then explain it to me.
Sure, I got time. You see, at my age, you know who you are. And I've always been a thief. I'd swipe a cred stick for my own mother if it had enough zeros on it. But even in a group of cred-hungry thieves, a man has to have a code. Rules.
You mean honor among thieves?
I do. You finish a job, it's supposed to be done. You get the rush and the relief. But in the fleet, doing the job isn't the hard part. In the fleet, you gotta worry about the guy sleeping next to you, and if he's gonna take a bigger piece of the pie. You gotta wake up the next morning and wonder why your slice is missing and the crumbs are stuck to his face.
Why join a medical supply ship?
Well, for one, they don't have much in the way of loot, but they're still important to somebody. You can't just blow up one without it showing up on SSNN, or a UC captain getting a 10-inch stack of slates on his desk. But more importantly, do-gooders are predictable. The pirate code changes depending on who's reciting it. Honest folks, they have a habit of writing their rules down. Why did I join the Regana? Truth is, I just wanted a good night's sleep.
Neva mentioned you changed your identity.
Yeah, I've had some work done. If you got the Crimson Fleet on your back, you would too. As for the name, that was actually the hard part. You can use 100 different aliases and the system will just add them to the list. Now you can pay a guy to delete the list, but nothing's ever really gone forever. Neva probably paid the same guy to hit rewind, and here we are.
Would you be interested in working for SysDef?
And put a bigger target on my back? As far as I'm concerned, the brig is the safest place I can be. The second you drag me into some private room, you're basically telling everyone here that I'm a rat.
Guess that's it. So the brig is 2 floors, and I'm assuming we will have the ability to fill all of them.
We'll keep the brig ready for any pirates you bring in. Welcome to the brig. As a member of SysDef, you may talk with the prisoners as long as you are mindful of operation security. As a personal rule, I simply ask that you adhere to UC Navy standards of cleanliness at all times. That means no mud on your boots, your hands are washed, and you are free of any contagious diseases.
Okay. Why the focus on cleanliness?
Besides the fact that it's healthier, a sanitary brig is important for station security. In my experience, a prisoner will hide a shiv under a flake of dust if you let them. The cleaner a space is, the easier it is to spot irregularities, both inside the cell and out.
Seems a bit excessive, but I'll try my best.
Normally, I'd say trying isn't good enough, but you're Commander Ikande's mole, aren't you? In that case, I'm not going to ask you to blow your cover just for me. I understand being a slob is part of the job, but try not to abuse the privilege.
Were there any problems securing Rake?
No. The prisoner surrendered willingly, as per the terms of your deal. This is probably the safest place for him, if the fleet want him dead. You can chat with him, if you haven't already. I'm sure he has a lot to say.
As the brig officer, is there anything you need from me?
As a matter of fact, I have a favor to ask. I understand that part of your undercover work involves going to the fleet headquarters, namely, the key. While you're there, if you find anything pertaining to the history of the fleet, I'd be interested in learning about it.
This is a highly unusual request, officer.
I apologize, but no one from our side has been to the key in ages. The history buff in me wants to learn more.
I'll keep an eye out.
I appreciate it. I've actually heard rumors about there being audio logs for an interview the founder of the fleet, Jasper Crix, did on the key. I'm interested in anything he had to say regarding his time in prison and how the prisoners were treated. If you find anything like that, bring it back here, and we'll take a listen.
Why the fascination with the fleet's history?
The fleet and the UC are intertwined, and I've always felt knowing that past is an important part of what we do. In life, history can be a guide, a warning, or at times, a reflection. And if you want to know which one it is, you have to stare it in the face, regardless of how ugly it is.
How do you handle the treatment of prisoners?
That's a loaded question. We err on the side of caution here, short of any physical abuse. But with the Crimson Fleet, you have to be very careful. If you give them an inch, they'll take a parsec and find a way to stab you with it.
It's a good mindset. Security should be the top priority.
That's the idea. We will always err on the side of security, given the choice. But I'll be the first to admit it's not an exact science, and we've made mistakes in the past with both the carrot and the stick. As chief officer of this brig, my worst fear is that we'll someday repeat them.
What kind of prisoners end up in the brig?
The cells you see here are for captured pirates and prisoners of war. If you apprehend any pirates during the course of your missions, they'll be detained here.
What if the prisoners tried to escape? What kind of defenses do we have?
We have multiple turrets attached to the ceiling. If you've met Ensign Betty, she's personally calibrated them to ensure they cover the entire area. That being said, firing the turrets should be considered a last resort.
What are your thoughts on Commander Akande?
He's a good man, singularly focused when it comes to the fleet. But that's not to say he doesn't care about his crew. I can tell you a story as an example if you'd like to hear it.
Go ahead, I've got time.
So, I'm a bit of a workaholic, and I forget to take breaks. One day, Commander Akande passes by the brig and sees me at my desk. He takes one look at my haggard face and says, "Officer, I'm headed to the mess hall. If you're not with me in 15 minutes, your services will no longer be required on my ship." I tried to protest, but he was dead serious. So I went. We had lunch, talked about old times, and I went back to the brig, refreshed and ready to work. It's little things like that. You can see he pays attention, and that he cares about the people, not just the work.
Huh.
Keep the floors and your nose clean, and you can stay as long as you like.
I was gonna ask where that computer was, but I don't see one in regards to
Petrosian's a real
files.
And as our superior officer, that makes us all neat freaks.
I can just take this?
For
Cool,
God's
thanks.
sake, drop some of that rubbish already.
Nope. I need as much as I can get. It requires computer, eh? Okay. Alright, let's get out of here.
Captain Howell, do you require my assistance?
Nope. We're leaving. Screw the key. We're going to New Atlantis. Whoops. Sorry. So where's that? That's Crix. How far away is it? Travel to the key, show on map. Crix is quite a ways away. Yeah, we're not doing that. The old neighborhood. Return to the lodge. I can go straight to the lodge, eh? Alright, let's go.